And we have a caller who might want to be asking about this very thing. Hello, caller. What's your name and where are you from?
I'm Racheli, and I'm calling from Jerusalem.
Welcome, Racheli. Do you have a question for Oran Aviv?
Yeah, well, one question I have, I've heard a lot about reflexology before, and I guess I've had it done to me before, but are there ways for me to be able to do it to myself to relieve pain?
Oh, what a question. Great. Do I get to plug my class now?
Yes.
Actually, when people come for me for treatments, a lot of times they have homework that they'll either have to work on their hands or they'll work on their ears. And that's just really helpful. It's sort of homework to do in between sessions to just make it go, to make the healing process happen much faster. Besides that, I also teach a class that's a hand reflexology class that everybody can by themselves learn how to do reflexology. Again, I make it very clear it's not the same as going to a skilled reflexologist. But you can use hand reflexology points to help yourself and help the family from anything from stopping hiccups to stopping hot flushes, which is a good one.
That's cool.
Does that help?
Yeah.
Okay, but for something more, again, if somebody wakes up in the morning and has a sore back, then using the points of the hand reflexology can help. If somebody has been suffering for 20 years from back pain, I'd suggest they come to a skilled reflexologist.
Right, well, they've probably got a lot of inflammation in there. I have one more question.
Please.
I was just thinking with like the pagua that happened in Jerusalem today, that kind of stress that happens from something like that is a lot different than normal stress that people have, and I was just curious if you can even say on like the radio if there is a point that can like.
I wouldn't call it a point. I would definitely getting something. I can't explain a point on the level, but definitely in a situation like that where we're all stressed and then it's very hard for us to function, definitely reflexology, 45 minutes of reflexology, it's an escape. It'll make us escape for 45 minutes and not think about all of it, and that just will make our bodies be better.
Cool. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Racheli. Now, Oran, we have a chatter from Merrick, and as Racheli was speaking, this chatter seemed relevant because he wants to know people with missing limbs, or I'm thinking diabetics whose feet are no longer sensitive and can't feel. How can they take advantage of reflexology?
Well, those are two separate issues. Diabetics, a skilled reflexologist who works with somebody with a diabetic will have to work very gently to make sure that they don't cause any damage.
Okay.
But it's very, very important because it helps with circulation, which is very important. Without limbs is also very interesting because we're talking also about energy level. And if there's a limb, not just a limb missing, but even if there's an organ missing, it'll still have its reflex point. So we can still work that. There's stories about reflexology helping people with phantom pains.
Really?
Because they actually, they're able to work that phantom pain,
That's
the reflex
crazy.
point for that, So it's definitely...
Because it corresponds, like you can find that spot on a different part of the body, and that's how you
We also have referral areas. Let's say if somebody has a broken ankle and you can't work the ankle, we would work the referral area, which would be the wrist of the same hand on the same side or the opposite ankle.
So you're basically saying there's a way to compensate.
Yeah. I personally haven't. I've done with somebody who didn't have a toe. We worked on that once. That was interesting.
That is interesting. Yeah. Okay, so sensitive body parts, missing limbs. What about something that you had mentioned when we were exchanging emails back and forth? People whose minds are unfortunately wasting away due to dementia or Alzheimer's. There's studies that reflexology is actually having a positive effect on them. Can you explain?
Well, the studies, I don't know how many studies I can tell you the work that we've done. I work at I work with dementia and Alzheimer's patients in Kfar Saba at it's called the Merkaz Yom, the Day Center for Seniors. And I work there. I did a course with the Israel Alzheimer's Association of Volunteers, and I teach their memory games actually to the group of dementia because it's very important for everybody to keep using their memory, so we don't want to lose it more. I also give reflexology sessions there, and when I began working there, I thought people with dementia to start telling them to take off their shoes and socks would be a little bit complicated for them and scary. So I started doing hand reflexology there, thinking that once they got to know me later on, I could maybe move to feet. But we started getting such good results with the hand reflexology that we just continued. And I started teaching a course. We decided to teach a course to their live-in caregivers because they're the ones who are with them all the time.
Right.
So they did a course. I taught them hand reflexology for dementia, and the results were really lovely. It caused a lot of people with dementia can be very aggressive. It's a horrible illness.
It is, and
they don't quite know what's going on.
Aggressive as
they
well.
can become very irritable. We have what's called sundowning, which is at about 4 or 5 in the afternoon. They start to get very, very irritable. And what they found is that hand reflexology was helping them pass through that time a little bit easier. I know it even sometimes I'll come to the center and the social worker will come running. Oh, good that you're here. Good that you're here. Hurry up, come. This one's all aggravated. Come work with her. And I work with her 20 minutes hand reflexology and she feels much better.
It's probably so rewarding when you have someone enthusiastic to see you and like a reason to do what you're doing.
I love what I do. I tell you, my favorite thing is seeing people at the end of a session, seeing the smile on their face when they're feeling all relaxed. There isn't much better than that.
That is fabulous.
Anyway, getting back to the dementia patients, they also were sleeping better. And you can imagine what that is for the live-in caregiver, that her care is now sleeping 8 hours instead of 6 hours a night. And we also find it was helping with digestive issues.
Okay, good.
It was also made the relationship much better between the caregiver and her care. Because if sometimes she was aggressive to her and didn't like her, now she was calling her doctor because she made her feel so much better.
Oh.
And that's so important. These caregivers have such a difficult job. Working 24 hours with a dementia patient is not easy.
No, it's very strenuous and it's very stressful. And there was actually an article that came out, I guess it was last year at this point, on the generation of people now who are taking care of their parents and how they are suffering all sorts of stress disorders and high blood pressure and health problems because they're so stressed out.
Bingo.
From taking care of.
That's part of that whole stress, yes.
Yeah.
The sandwich generation. You're worried
you're
about your kids, you're worried about your
and
parents. You don't have a life.
Exactly.
Reflexology.
It was a heartbreaking article. But listen, we have to take a quick break. When we come back, we will investigate this a little more. Listeners, stay tuned.
You're tuned in to the only all-sports talk network in the Middle East, IsraelSportsRadio.com.
Midreshet Devora, a Dati Leumi post-high school program which educates minds and broadens horizons. Located in Baca, the lovely Jerusalem neighborhood provides an excellent background and setting for a tremendous education. Our students learn, love, and feel the land of Israel and get tools which will last them a lifetime. Generous scholarships are available. Please contact us at midreshetdevora.org. Call us from Israel at 052-534-6260 or from North America at 718-593-4162. Midreshet Devora, we're the program you've been waiting for.
Offering the best of Israel at the best price, Shalom Israel Tours can help you make your next trip to Israel the adventure of a lifetime. Shalom Israel Tours will customize the trip to Israel for your family or group. Specializing in bar mitzvah packages, outdoor adventure vacations, wine tours, and more, Shalom Israel Tours is sure to inspire. So whether you're looking for a customized trip, a day tour, or a car rental, Shalom Israel Tours is here to help. Email us at inspire@shalomisraeltours.com or click the banner on the Israel Sports Radio homepage, and soon you will find yourself in Israel. That's Shalom Israel Tours, www.shalomisraeltours.com.
SendASafer.com. Send a safer or a book to someone in Israel. Send a safer for a wedding or bar mitzvah present. Send a safer to a yeshiva student studying in Israel for the year. Order a safer for yourself. Free delivery in Jerusalem. Click on the SendASafer.com ad on the Israel Sports Radio homepage and send a safer or book to someone right now. SendASafer.com.
Broadcasting live from Israel.
IsraelSportsRadio.com.
And we're back, kicking it with Kagan and Oran Aviv, reflexologist extraordinaire, sharing her wisdom on the subject of relaxation techniques. And reflexology is included in these relaxation techniques, and it's very beneficial. She's telling us about all the different populations that find it advantageous and really improved their lifestyle. So that's very encouraging. And if you're stressed out, you might as well try it. Why not? Find a person to recommend, or if you're not sure, then you can always email me or email the station or call in, and we'll be happy to share our resources with you. Now, Oran, how frequently do you recommend someone go in for treatment? Because I know that sometimes certain severe situations might require a little bit more intense in the beginning, and then it can sort of peter out, and someone with a more chronic thing might have to go monthly. So what do you recommend?
It really depends on the situation. I'd say the basic would be is to come for weekly sessions for at least 10 weeks, so you can really see the change. There's situations, for example, if one of my children has a fever, then I will be doing every half hour for 5 minutes until the fever breaks. It normally breaks within about the third time, but sometimes up to 5 times. So it really depends on the situation. But I'd say weekly, and then if it's not it really depends on the person. I think the best is prevention, is coming regularly, just let the body relax, and that you can do weekly, once every 2 weeks, once every month.
So it's really a case-by-case basis.
It is
what you're saying.
It also depends on the person, how much time they have, how much money they have. It's unfortunately, that comes down to that many times as well, their decisions.
Let me pick your brain about this. Do you feel like, or have you seen people get more stressed out knowing that they have to schedule a reflexology treatment? No, because
oh no, most people are looking.
I know that can happen sometimes.
Oh no, they're more. Most of them say like they schedule way ahead of time, and they say, just knowing that I'm going to be coming is already
that's fabulous.
making me relaxed.
Oh, that's great. Okay, good. That makes me very happy. I hope that when people think about the gym that way, they get so excited. That's how I view the gym.
There's so many things that we do naturally. I mean, we don't think twice about taking our car for a tune-up.
Right.
5,000 kilometers, 10,000 kilometers. We don't think twice about going to the dentist for a checkup. And this just needs to be one more thing. We have to understand that if we don't take care of ourselves with prevention, then, at the end it's going to cost us a lot more. And it's going to cost us, we'll be out of it, we'll be sick, we won't be going to work, and it'll be much more expensive.
So you're basically advocating for... well, geez, I'm having a senior moment.
Breathe. It's stress.
What the heck just happened? I can't think of it, but I read something in an email recently that said, oh my gosh, how did I lose this too? It was about, what were you just saying? You were saying prevention and taking care of yourself today for the future. And so the email read something like, I'm going to destroy it right now, just so you know. How can you...
If you can't afford prevention today...
That's what... Was that at the bottom of your email? Of course. Okay, I'm totally losing it.
It's actually a colleague of mine. Right?
Okay.
If you can't afford prevention today, how can you afford to be sick tomorrow?
Right. That's what it was. And I agree with that, because there are so many things. Like you mentioned, we'll jump into our cars and take our cars for even filling it up with gas, and it's amazing to me how many people aren't filling their bodies up with nutritious food.
You got it.
And that's just one easy toxin that you can get rid of that would alleviate some of the stress in your life too. People don't realize the effects of food and the way it wreaks havoc in your body, or the way it can heal. It can be very convalescent sometimes. Good hot cup of soup on a...
It all boils down to us being stressed. I mean, if we're stressed and we're rushing around, we don't have time to make a good meal. It's much easier to take out the frozen stuff out of the freezer.
Yeah.
I mean, I see it. We cook. You know how many dishes that is every time you cook a meal? It's much easier to just stick something in the microwave and not have any dishes. It's all a matter of how stressed we are. And just imagine this country, what it would be like. I mean, I just think about the drivers I watch in this country. Imagine if at every red light they would be giving themselves hand reflexology to relax. Imagine what this place would look like if people were more relaxed and not under constant stress.
Okay, so talk to us more about prevention, practical things that people can do so that they don't fall into the rut.
I think, reflexology I like the most as far, obviously, but also because it causes the deepest relaxation. But I think if anybody would if people got to the understanding that getting a reflexology treatment, getting a shiatsu treatment, getting a massage was not a luxury. It's something that we have to have in order to function well. See what reflexology can do when somebody is ill. Imagine if you're okay, how much better you'll feel, how much happier you'll be, how much... Once you're happier, once you're less stressed, you focus more, and then you're able to get a lot more done.
You're so much more productive. I agree with you 100%. So if people wanted to get in touch with you, how could they do that?
Well, they can find me. You can find me on my site. My site's reflexandmore.com. Or you can Google me, Oran Aviv, or Reflexology Israel. You'll probably find me. Or you can reach me at 057-5533-856.
Fabulous. Oran, thank you so much for joining us.
Wait 1 second before you go. Oran gave me a reflexology treatment before the show, and it was fabulous. So I highly recommend it. Everyone should do it. I feel a lot more relaxed. And I have a feeling I'll continued effects, positive effects in the days to come. So thank you so much.
Great. Good to hear.
That's it for our interview with Oran Aviv. Stay tuned, listeners, because when we come back, we have more food, fitness, and everything fun.